Hello, everyone, and welcome to On the Spot. It's a Quarrying Africa program where we speak to industry figureheads about some of the important issues that affect the industry. Today, I'm speaking to the man himself, Nico Pienaar. He's the director of ASPASA, the Surface Mining Industry Association in Southern Africa. Um, I'm talking to Nico today about health and safety, which is a very important subject in the mining industry at large at this point in time. Nico, thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to be with us.
Thanks, Manishi, and thanks for inviting me. And I trust I can add value to your discussion.
Definitely you will. You are the man that is at the center of everything in this industry. Nico, just to start with, let's discuss the importance of health and safety in the industry. I think over the years, the focus has been on operational excellence, and safety has always been treated as a compliance issue. But just how important is health and safety?
Manishi, I did some study the other day, and I got a document which I found. And in 1999, when I started in this industry, I've been here 23 years, the CEOs of companies then decided that health and safety would be a focus area, that in environmental affairs, but at that stage, health and safety. Our part of the mining industry would try and ensure that nobody gets hurt or killed or anything else. So we started off with the health and safety audit. In those days, it was very basic and it looked at a few things. And over the years, we've now developed that audit document into a process. And we send a person out once a year to our members' operations, and he checks the paperwork, and he then walks around and checks what he sees, because it's often when you see things frequently, you don't actually see the problem. If there's not a machine guard on, then it's a problem. So for us, health and safety is crucial. It's one of the top things.
Yes, yes. I think you have previously mentioned that it is operational excellence and safety are actually two sides of the same coin. And within ASPASA, you actually walk the talk. You have implemented a number of initiatives that have made sure that your operations are always uh, at the center of excellence when it comes to health and safety. Just let's discuss some of the initiatives that you are putting in place as an association.
I think the main initiative is to, and it's a wide concept, is to educate people. Now, how do you educate people? To go to a training center and do a course, that's one form of education. But to constantly send best practice guidelines, best practice documents, summaries of pieces of the legislation, I think that makes one leg of the whole process. And then having somebody that's neutral, that comes to the place and then looks at it and gives advice. And then at the end of the day, when he leaves, he gives the non-conformance list. So the people that are at the operation have something to work from. If somebody comes to you and says your car's tires are not good enough, then you must replace them. And basically that's what it, but so the audit is not negative, like we understand the word audit. It's actually a supportive, educational and a legal compliance type of visit.
Yeah, yeah. Nico, if I remember correctly, I think this is the fifth year with your members not recording any form of fatality at their operations. What's what's behind that achievement?
I think it's actually 6 years now. The 5 years seems to stick around, and as time moves on, it's most probably near to 7 years. I think what we see is that it's people being aware of the problem. The thing is with our type of operations, the operation is small in people. The operation might be big in size, but the operation in people is small, and people are all part of a team. and they all know each other, and they all know each other's families, and they all know each other's children and stuff like that. So people look after each other. I think that's a crucial thing. If we could all start doing that in South Africa, we're looking after each other and be aware that there's things that could hurt people. So yeah, I think that's the crux. It's this caring. Um, it's health and safety can be a problem when you talk the talk, but you don't do it. It's like driving safely, but you still sit with your cell phone against your ear and you don't have a safety belt on. That's unacceptable. You see, so if the manager drives in his LDV on the mine and he hasn't got a safety belt on, he doesn't support health and safety. Full stop.
Yeah, yeah. And the COVID-19 pandemic has also, you know, posed a lot of challenges when it comes to health and safety on operations. How have you helped your members cope with this situation?
Yeah, we tried to, number one, on COVID, we tried to send as many guidelines as we could because we're part of the Minerals Council and we got a huge amount of very, very good documents from them and from the DMRE because I think that everybody put a huge amount of focus in on that. So that's the one side. Uh, but we then also found that I think COVID took the attention away from people on health and safety. And when I say attention away, people were more worried about, seeing if the guy's got COVID and if he's got his mask on and so forth and so forth. So we're addressing that quite strictly now and strongly. We've had a very, very good workshop a week ago, and we got very good speakers. And I think we're focusing on those things that have slipped. And I call it that they've slipped. It's you always. I had a boss who said, if you take your focus off playing rugby or soccer, then you're going to lose it. So I think we've taken the focus off a bit, and we've put it on COVID, but we've lost a little bit of it, I believe.
That's great to hear. I think the benefits of being a member of ASPASA are apparent for every operation out there. Just how does someone go about it to join the association?
I think what they must do is they contact us. They contact our office, Anneke at office@aspaza.co.za, and we send them the forms. If they then want to talk to me, they phone me or we have a video conference and I explain. People don't always understand what we give, and there's a huge list. It's all listed behind me on the screen. Now we've got that in document form, and those are all the things that we're involved in. So health and safety is one part, one leg, but there's a whole lot of other stuff that's very, very relevant. And I mean transport issues, PDS and technical stuff and engineering stuff. So we say that it's not a one man, it's not a one stop, it's not one thing that we look at. And I was telling somebody the other day that one accountant at a company said that it's a lot of money to pay our SPASA to be a member. And the CEO is still there. He said to him, "Go and find me somebody that does the same work as what ASPASA does, and then we'll see how much it costs." And that was the end of that, because
Yeah.
everybody pays into this pot. The pot has enough little money in, and yes, then you can do it. But if you had to have somebody do what I do, and you pay me, then you're going to have to. It's going to cost you a lot of money. So I think that's the trick about it. We do all sorts of things, but
Mm.
we've got contacts all over the place, and that's the thing. But you must have a good name. If a
Yeah.
sponsor doesn't have a good name and we're not responsible, reliable, good citizens, then people won't trust you.
Yeah, you mentioned the right conduct. If I remember correctly, you were praised the other day by the DMRE. You were also praised by the Minerals Council. You were also praised by GAIN. How do those relationships with such bodies help you as an association?
Yeah, those bodies are very crucial to us. If we start with the DMRE, when I came into the industry 23 years ago, I came basically not long before that. I was a trade unionist in the old South Africa. So I had the trade union attitude, which I wanted to fight with everybody. And
Yes.
then afterwards, I caught on that don't fight with people always. But that's the only way trade unions used to operate in those days. So then you start working with people. And my relationship with the DMR officials is very good because we're not there to fight. So I think that's it. And we're there to work together. So if they say he has a problem, we say, okay, well, let's see if we can fix it. If it's not a fair request, then we say, no, it's not fair. So that's the Minerals Council. We are members. I'm the longest serving director on the Minerals Council's board. And then again, at the end of the day, it's they trust an individual. And I think that's what it is. If they don't trust you, they're not going to deal with you. And if I say, yes, I'm going to do it, I do it. And if I say, then they say, oh, no, let him go. He's just a talker. And I think that's what we see in politics. There's too many people that talk, but we don't see things happening. And that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
But you must also, my biggest job is to try and keep up to date with what's needed out there in
Yes.
the industry. So
Yes. That's interesting. Nico, just my last question. Earlier on, you mentioned the PDS. I think that's a big talking point in the industry at the moment. Where are we now?
well, we've just I sit on the Mine Health and Safety Council, which is the body that creates the law in the mining industry, and below that, or part of that, is the MRAC, which develops the stuff. And we had a meeting a week or so ago, and we're still battling. Now, let me explain to you what the problem is, because I'd explained that to the people at the meeting the other day. To put a system into a tractor, let's use a tractor as an example, any machine, but let's use a tractor. You put a thing in, you need to know, number one, that the system is going to work. Now, many of these systems that they're putting in are very complicated, so they do that with like an internet system or something like that. So when there's no reception, the system doesn't work. But I was saying the other day, my one car, which is old, but it's it's got a reverse camera in. It's got a screen. Some of the new buckies have got alarms in and screen. I don't know why we're making it difficult, but we as the industry, the people, we don't put those things in. Those things must be put in by the OEMs. They must put the thing in the vehicle. And I think that's our problem. So there's the person who builds the tractor, and then there's a person who puts the system in afterwards, sometimes separately. And they're still not getting on well. We in industry, we've got a traffic management plan, and it's actually a very, very simple thing to set up a traffic management plan. Just ensure that the vehicles don't go near each other. They go in one direction around a circle, so they're not going to crash. Keep the people out where they're going to be run over. And a lot of it is very simple stuff. So we're working as ASPASA very far on that, and we're starting to audit, help, not an audit, that's an ugly word, but to consult as we go around, and our auditors will do the same. Because it's a crucial thing. Our last accident that we had 6 years ago, whatever, was a person that walked in behind a tractor, and the tractor drove over him and he died. So, yeah, don't think it doesn't happen in our part of the industry. People walk where they shouldn't walk, and people don't concentrate, and then they get killed. So I think the PDS is necessary, but we as industry, the people that have to apply it and comply to the law, we're battling to get all these systems in. And many of our operations have got old machines, but you can't put this fancy stuff in. It's not just putting in a little thing with a little camera.
Yeah.
It's much more. People don't understand this, and we're saying, just start by the simple stuff, and then we can help. So that's one of the stuff that I keep on moaning and groaning about. I think they're all tired of me talking about that. But anyway, if I don't do that, nobody listens.
I understand, Nico. Thanks a lot, Nico, for affording us time to chat to you. We really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Thank you very, very much, and go well. And
Thank you.
thanks.